And lastly, before we conclude, I want to talk a little bit about digital currency. And because digital currency is it's quite relevant to valuation that we talk about and monetary policy. So I just want to conclude this lesson with digital currency as well as a report that you can download. So what is money? Money has three functions: unit of account, medium of exchange, and store of value. As long as a thing has these three functions, it is money. It is a form of currency. It's a type of money. And that's how we define money. A lot of people say, oh, there are some utility tokens that behave like money, or there are some securities that seem to be like money. Gold is gold money because gold has like some functions of money. I can use it to exchange. Gold has store of value. Gold can be a medium of exchange, but gold is not really a unit of account. So gold is not money, and that's how we define money. And that's why one of the functions in the token functions is money. So today we want to talk about digital currency. Digital currency is not something new. Digital currency has been available for a long time. And when we talk about digital currency, there are some added advantage to physical currency. Physical currency, I don't have cash now, but physical currency is basically the cold hard cash that you use to buy goods and services. Digital currency is just a digital form of money, of currency. Some added advantage of why we're talking about digital currency: you've got instantaneous transactions. You don't have to queue at the bank, or the bank closes at 5 p.m. and then you have to take your lunch break to go to the bank. You can just do everything online because it's digital. It's open 24/7 and it's instantaneous. You have automatic update of accounting ledger. So instead of in the past you have this like a book that shows how much balance that you have in your bank, and every month I know my grandmother will go to the ATM and then put the book into the machine, and the ATM will be printing out all the different transactions and tell her how much she spent and how much she has, and then she takes the book out, and that's where she updates her accounting ledger. Today you can just log on to your mobile app, your bank app, and see the automatic transfer and update in your bank account. And when it's updated in your bank account, it's also updated in the accounting ledger of the bank. It also allows for cross-border transfer of ownership because everything is online. It's easier to just transfer. You can transfer ownership. You can transfer money very easily. I can send money all across the world, all around the world, like super easily and instantly. It's also possible to integrate with smart contracts. This is more of cryptocurrencies or blockchain or DLT, not cryptocurrency, but like DLT, where currencies is being built on DLT, distributed ledger technology. We can use smart contracts, we can use recurring contracts, and we can look at triple accounting to integrate into the various kind of accounting ledgers available. So smart contracts, if you know, it's basically an automatic execution. You tell smart contract, okay, when I receive this token, I want you to give that token to someone else or whatever. It's basically rules that is encoded, and smart contracts just execute that. Recurring contract it's like a server, and it accounts for things going on in two different ledgers. So it's like a third ledger. So in a way, it's triple accounting, and it accounts instead of just dual accounting. Your word is verified against the other guy. Now you have a third party, so that you need to verify like all three ledgers are the same. Just triple accounting. A recurring contract is doing something similar, and then you embed it in smart contracts. Digital currency also allows for traceability. One of the reasons why people like cash is that it's not traceable. Your cash can go anywhere. It's not linked to your name, your identity, whatever. You can spend it any way you want, and people love cash for that reason. It's not traceable. Whereas with digital currencies, it's traceable. And also limit access or reach of currency. Some people don't like currency. Some people don't use currency. Don't use physical cash. And also there are more things that you can do with digital cash because they're all digital, and more things that you can play around with. So these are the three In digital currencies, I call them status. There are two status. The first one is legal tender versus not legal tender. What's legal tender? Legal tender is super easy. It's basically money that is issued by the central bank. There's legal tender. Legal tender it's basically anytime you want to spend the money, someone has to receive it. It's mandated by law because it's money issued by the central bank, and you can't say that, oh, I don't want to accept this money. You can't, because the money is legal tender. It's legal and you can use it. People have to accept it. So it's money issued by the central bank. Sometimes we call them central bank digital currencies, CBDC. It's basically built on technological infrastructure. It can be built on distributed ledger, or it can be on private non-distributed ledgers, which are basically your legacy systems that's already in place. And for valuation, it's based on how the government or central bank is executing the different policies, monetary policies or fiscal policies to affect the valuation. The other status is not legal tender. Basically, just digital currencies that's not issued by the central bank. And then we have two types. We have cryptocurrencies that's basically built on DLT and encrypted with cryptography. Or you have virtual currencies that's basically just built on digital ledger. Can be built on private, non-private, distributed, non-distributed, legacy system, emerging tech, doesn't matter. Just being built on digital ledgers. And then cryptocurrency is built on distributed ledgers. And there are a lot of ways that you can value cryptocurrencies. It can be backed by fiat and with a peg. It can be pegged to a basket of goods or currencies. It can be determined by market forces. So you have Tether. Tether is backed by US dollars and it's a one-to-one US dollar peg. It can be pegged to a basket of goods and services like Libra. Libra is the Facebook coin that they want to create. Or it can be like Bitcoin, where it's determined by market forces. When it talks about virtual currency, basically everything else that's not legal tender money, not cryptocurrencies, they're called virtual currencies. So digital currencies is this big umbrella, and then you have central bank legal tender money. You've got not legal privately issued cryptocurrencies, and then you have everything else, which is virtual currency. It can be built. The valuation can come in very different ways. It can be a self-determined peg. So, for example, in China, you've got QQ, which is one of the social media apps, something like Chinese Twitter, and they have their own tokens. One QQ token is 1 RMB. It's a virtual currency. It's worth 1 RMB, but it's not built on DLT, so we can't call them cryptocurrencies. We just call them virtual currencies. You can also have self-determined valuation, like the World of Warcraft money. World of Warcraft is like an online video game, and it's a video game. People play it. People trade them. People use the money to buy goods and services in the World of Warcraft ecosystem, and they just determine the valuation. I think it's like, I don't know. It's determined. The valuation is determined to US dollars. And lastly, you have market forces as well. So this virtual currency is allowed to be traded outside. And we have in Second Life, there's this money. It's called Liden dollars, and you can basically trade it and buy it, and then spend it in the Second Life ecosystem. So this is the overview of digital currencies. And then I just want to show the monetary policies in place. These monetary policies I talked about in the last session. So I just want to give you a quick recap and trying to match everything together. How digital currencies and monetary policies are related based on the different types of digital currencies available. What are the monetary policies you can put in place? So I go through that quite in detail in this report. So if you can just scan the QR code or go to economicdesign.com/portfolio/digital currencies, you can download this report on digital currencies, as well as more explanation on what monetary policies are available to play around with, and what are the tools available for you to use. For you as a central bank, or for you as a person that issues private cryptocurrencies.